So welcome to the Secret Garden podcast. We're your hosts. I'm George.
I'm Darren.
And if you're new to this podcast, in each episode we are joined by our guests, ranging from celebrity hairstylists,
beauty gurus to TV personalities to have a fun chat about their best and worst personal hair experiences. We will be also serving you some tea and juicy details about celebrity gossip.
So, welcome to the Secret Garden podcast. I'm one of your hosts, George.
And I'm Darren.
And we have got the gorgeous Chyna, one of the Love Island bombshells, with us today. How are you, darling?
I'm good, thank you. I'm really good. How are you guys?
Yeah, we're good, thanks.
We're great. Thanks for joining us today, babe.
Thank you so much.
All right.
So, I thought we would just jump straight in and talk a little bit about your experience on Love Island, because you were one of the bombshells, right?
Yeah. Well, I went in at Casa. Initially, I didn't even want to go in at Casa at all. Like, as soon as, when I was being interviewed and they asked me, would you like to go in at Casa Amor? And I was like, no. And I was like, why not? And I was like, I'm not going to lie. I'm enough to go in on my own. I don't need to go in with a group of girls. But then going in with obviously the other girls, I actually really loved it. I think because you don't know what to expect until you're in it. And I think I was more so thinking what are the other girls even going to be like? What are they even going to be? You know what I mean? Because you never know what you're going to get when you're going in there.
Had you watched any of the show before? Had you watched any of that season of Love Island before you went in? So did you know what girls you were going to?
Yeah, so when obviously I watch it religiously each year. So I watched the beginning all the way up until I think 2 days before we was going in or whatever. And I was like, okay, right, because obviously even when you're in quarantine, it's not even really quarantine really, it's in the holding villas. You watch it each night with your chaperone, and each night my chaperone you watch it each night. My chaperone was just like, Chyna, you're not scared? And I was like, no, I think I was no. I think for me, I was more so do you know what? Get me in there. Because I was just sick and tired of waiting. I was like, I need to go in there and see what it's about.
Yeah, I bet it gets boring, doesn't it? I bet it's boring. I bet you just want to go in.
2 weeks I spent just me and my chaperone, and it was very, very boring. Obviously, the only good thing was for me, I actually got on with my chaperone, but you only have your phone. Well, we had our phones for the first 5 days, and then after that, it's just you and your chaperone and a book.
Gone, yeah.
Yeah, literally, I was reading books.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So for me,
I don't think I'd be able to cope with that.
Do you know what it was?
Absolutely.
It got to the point where I just wasn't even counting the days. I was just, do you know when you just get up and just try and make yourself have a little routine?
Yeah.
My routine was get up, have breakfast, sunbathe, go for a little bit of a swim, and then sunbathe again, and then might read a book.
Oh my god.
Just chill and enjoy the experience, babe. That's what it was about.
Exactly.
So tell me a little bit about the villa that you were hiding in before then, Babs. Was that as nice as the normal villa, or what? How did it compare?
Well, obviously, the Love Island villa didn't really compare as much as what we seen, because it was just a standard Spanish villa. Because we even got there at night, and me and my chaperone was just scared. I watched too many horror films, and I was like, oh my god, Freddy Krueger is probably going to be out there in the bushes, and we was scared. I had lizards in my room. I was crying. I had a lizard. I was crying. I was like, oh my god, we've got to get this out, otherwise I can't.
What did you do? Did you get him to take it out?
I literally had to me and my chaperone, so both of us, me and her, we had to psych ourselves up. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, they don't put you imagine if they put me with a guy and I'm like, yeah, sorry guys, I'm not going into the villa. I found someone. I was literally in tears, and then she was like, if it makes you feel uncomfortable, I'll try and get it out for you. But I was like, it's fine, I'll try to do it myself. But I was literally in tears. I'd hate creepy crawlers, hate spiders, everything.
Oh my god.
It was an experience for me. But it was nice. I think it just totally took me out of my comfort zone. And I had that little bit of time to like detox and like prepare myself. I think I was doing like self-care routines, giving myself like little pampers every day just to like, just let the day go past because obviously I didn't have my phone.
Yeah. So what made you decide to join Love Island? Like, what made you want to apply?
Do you know what?
Or did you even apply?
I applied. I think there was literally only me and another person in the villa that actually did apply. Other than that, I think everyone was scouted. But it was a joke at work. So I was obviously been single for a while, and then I think it was the year before Love Island. They had finished, and then my workmates were just like, Chyna, like, you've been single for ages, like, why don't you just go on Love Island? And I, like, was laughing and joking. I was like, yeah, you know, I'm going to send in my application. Sent in my application, and then, like, a few months later, I got a call. I actually thought it was a prank call as well. I was like, yeah, who's this? I'm like, hello, who's this?
I bet you never thought that you'd get on.
No, this is what I mean. This is why I was laughing and joking, because I actually just didn't think. And I didn't even tell, like, my family and friends until the day before I flew. Because I was even like, I can't believe this is happening. This is like a pinch me moment. It was literally just me that knew. So I'm there sat with even like my best friend. We were sat watching like when Love Island started, when all the girls all lined up and all the guys are coming out. And I'm just sat there. And by that point, I already knew that I was going in. So I'm just sat there just like, yeah, love this.
What the hell?
And then the whole time, obviously, I was going in. This is the thing. Like, even my friends, when I told my friend was like, I just can't even believe you. I think I told her whilst I was driving, and she was like, can you just please pull over? I pulled over, and she just got out and walked. And, like, I was like, she was in tears. She's like, oh, my God. She says, so I can't believe that you're actually going on. She's like, are you actually being real? I'm like, yeah, she literally was in tears. To be fair, I can laugh about it now, but I was just like,
oh my God. And then I bet when all your friends were watching you on the show, like, they were obviously rooting for you and couldn't believe it. Because you coupled up with Jay, didn't you, when you were on the show for a bit?
Yeah, so when I went in...
yeah. And how did that? Tell us about that. How was that for you?
Do you know what? I can laugh about it now because obviously, well, me and Jay have always just been good friends anyways. So even in there, like, I was attracted to him because he would normally be my type anyways. But then I was just like...
Yeah.
Because I even said to him before, I said, the one reason why I don't really want to go for you, because it was him that went for me, but I said to him, like, the one reason why you wasn't really on the top of my list was simply just because, like, of your track history. I said, in here, it seems like you're not really finding anyone. And, like, we laughed and joked.
Oh, my God.
Like, so
your track history?
Yeah, because obviously he had coupled it with Ekin, and obviously that didn't work out. Then... He always had and ah'd between girls. So I said, I don't really want that in a guy. Do you know what I mean? So I literally mentioned that to him, and he was like, yeah, totally understand, and things like that. But then I was just like, yeah, you're an attractive person, but I said, I'm just going to have to see how we vibe. We did vibe pretty well, and then, yeah, we just became, like, we pretty much said, yeah, we're just going to become friends, which I was like...
And that's so nice, though, isn't it? That you can become friends after the show and, you know, not have any weirdness.
Yeah, because even when we would, obviously, we still have to, like, share a bed. And, like, we would literally just come back to bed and debrief, like, from our day. We're like, so how was your day going? And, like, it was just, like, it was just funny because for me, I can never have any awkwardness. And especially, like, we're sharing a bed. Like, I'm not... I'd even make a joke...
Yeah, you can't.
I'd literally be joking with him all the time. I'd be like, so I'm going to get a spoon tonight. And, like, we're just laughing joke. And then he's like, Chyna, no. I'm like,
I'd be like, come on, babe, just give me a little spoon.
No, that was me. Like, literally, I was,
Was it? Yeah.
Like, come on, friends spoon all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, of course they do.
We were laughing about it, but yeah, even afterwards, because we even had to, because you have like a villa that you go to after, obviously, you get dumped from the villa. And when I say that was like something that you'd see in the movies, like it was much better than the actual Love Island villa. When we walked in, we was like, "Oh, is this for us?" And they're like,
"Really?"
Oh my God. So there's a villa after the villa.
So obviously you have your villa before the villa, your villa, obviously the Love Island villa, and then the villa after the villa is like something that you would think the Kardashians are going to, like. I was like, oh, so this is really for us, and they're like, yeah, and I'm like, okay.
You were like, how long do I get to spend in here?
Literally, like obviously we had our en-suites, and it was, when I said this villa was amazing, I was like, oh, okay, like loved it. We had our own little security with us, and I was like, wow, this is snazzy.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds fabulous. It sounds better than the Love Island villa, babe.
It was.
Yeah. And was there so were you and Jay in there together then after?
Yeah, so there was us and the two, we had two chaperones with us and one security with us afterwards. So yeah.
So there was no like.
Oh my God, no! No, it was like you. No, do you know what it was? As soon as we walked in, we was literally like, I can't wait to the starfish in a bed. Do you know what I mean? Because it was like you hadn't obviously you'd been sharing a bed, and it's like, especially for him, obviously he had been in there longer than me, and he was like, I just can't wait to just stretch. And it was weird because
and he's quite tall.
Yeah, it was weird to just like stretch out. You have no cameras on you. Like you can literally have a shit in peace, basically. Like without anyone just like watching you. Because
you know, like with shitting and pissing, like was that an issue? Was that an issue? Like when you went to the toilet?
See, it wasn't an issue because you pretty much very quickly get used to it. I couldn't poo for I couldn't poo for 2 days. Because because there was a camera, not facing you, but it's in the toilet with you. Just to make sure, say if you thin or something, say something had happened to you, obviously there's footage there just in case, but they would never watch it. And then on top of that, you would have your mic on. So imagine everything that you're doing.
Imagine if you did a big shit and it plopped.
Well, Darren, what the hell?
That's what you have to get used to.
Yeah. Babes, you need to put tissue down there.
I literally had to get used to that, and I couldn't poo. I was literally just I said, I just can't go. I'm not used to an audience, but now, coming out of there, I'm right, I'm ready to poo with the door open.
Fine. Whatever, babe.
Doesn't even matter.
Wherever now, you're fine.
I'm more than comfortable with doing it now. I guess it really does opens up your horizon, because there wasn't even a lock on the toilet door. You just kind of knew if there was someone in there because the door would be closed. I was just
exactly.
Imagine if I'm imagine if I'm pooing and a boy walks in, or what we would do is one of the girls would just wait outside just to say someone's in there type thing.
Have a little chat with you,
No, do you know what? Now I think about it, oh my God, how did I even poo in that situation? But
oh God. Babe, when you came out, how did you feel the edit was with yourself? Were you happy with your edit?
Do you know what? So I didn't exactly watch it back, simply because as soon as I tried to watch the walk-in, and then I heard my own voice on camera, and I was like, is that how I sound? I was like, oh my gosh. And
I'm 100% with you on that one, Chyna.
And I was like, I can't watch this. And then also, because it is a highly edited show, it's people see literally the smallest of what happens in a day.
Well, we see what, an hour?
Yeah, but even within the hour, you probably see probably 20 minutes of the day. It's not even that much when we've actually watched it back or seen little snippets. I'm like, how did they create this? Because this didn't unfold the way how it's been made out to, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Everything's dramatized. Obviously people know by now. Sometimes there's conversations that have been merged together and things like that. it's it's not what everyone seems. It's not what everyone thinks.
No, and it's baffling, this TV world. Like, all three of us can say we've done telly, we understand how it works.
Yeah.
But for people that watch it, like viewers, it is so different, isn't it?
They think what happens.
I've literally the way how even like now when I watch it, and I've literally even when I've been on like TikTok and like live and things, I've been speaking to people and people have been like, I hate this person. I said, for one, you can't hate someone that you have never met, and also it's an edited TV show, so say like the producers may make you out to be something that you're not, you can't go off that. So like I've literally had to be that person now that's like, can you guys not judge people? Because I've been in that predicament. Even when I came out, I'd be on live and stuff, and people would hear me talk and like just interact, and they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, like I actually like you now. I thought you was a bitch," and I'm like, I said, "What have I done?"
Isn't it awful? It's so awful how
honestly, like the way how people will have a perception of you just from seeing, say, like a snippet of the day.
Well, do you know what? It's so funny you should say that, because I remember when I came off cabins and I was on a date, just in town, this woman came up to us mid-date and she literally came over to me and she went, "How are you now? Are you all right? Are you with your ex now?"
Oh my God.
Like, I swear to God. And that's what I mean, it's the perception of you, isn't it? Because she's watched that. And it's just
even though that's probably like a year down.
Oh my God, absolutely.
That is ridiculous.
So bizarre,
no, because I even had people message me when I came out. I had trolls. I had more good than not. But like I had people be like, "Oh my God, you used Jay to get into the villa," and I'm like, wait. I said, first of all, he picked me. He friend-zoned me. How do I use someone? And then I had like people be like, "How can you be friends with Jay? He used you." I'm like, how can he use me? It's a show. Like, we got on, and even like when we were speaking, it's like, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You can't force anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I'm a person, I cut ties. God. Like, I'm like, it's cool, and I'm happy to just move on as friends and keep it as that. Like, it doesn't mean like the person's not attractive or anything else. Like, there's nothing wrong with that person, but if you don't work as a couple, that's absolutely fine. I don't need to like hate your guts. Do you know what I mean?
No, exactly. And do you still keep in touch with some of the girls from the villa now?
To be fair, we don't speak as often as we used to, because obviously everyone has busy lives now. But still do. It's so weird. Even like when I see them, I'm like, oh my God, it feels like I haven't seen you in ages. Like, because at one point when we all came out, we was literally around each other like all the time. But then like now, it's like when we see each other, I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I've not seen you in forever, and it's been like a month.
I know, and really, you lived with each other.
Yeah.
They were like,
literally. It was, this is the thing, even like coming out, it was so weird, because even like I'd try and say to like my family how my experience was, and they just don't really understand it, because obviously if you've not really been in like on TV and things like that, you kind of don't really know. But then even being on Love Island, I think there's that weird connection. Like when I came out, I think I was with Coco for like a whole month, and like we was literally together day in day out, and we was just like, people just don't get it, like what we've been through. And I'm like, like,
I know, honestly, it's so heavy, because it's like where we first met you. We saw you and Coco and the other girls, didn't we, at the awards?
Yeah.
And that was such a weird and surreal night, I feel like, for you, for me, for Darren.
It is, like, this is the thing, like, this is, like, only us guys would obviously know, but it's just surreal. And, like, sometimes when I try and explain it to people, people just don't really get it. It's just, it's hard to explain. Like, it's, for me, this whole thing has been like obviously an unforgettable like experience and everything else. Like I always say, like I would always recommend it, because you know you can't knock it until you try it. But you can't knock it until you try it, because it is like once you get into that whole little TV world, you have like a TV family. Do you know what I mean? Like even if you've not been on the same show, it's kind of like I kind of get what you've been through. Do you know what I mean? Like you have that little bit of a connection and things like that. So
yeah, we can all connect about the pooing and the cameras and all that.
Literally.
Literally, like, cover your mic like this.
I know.
Because at some point I would literally try and take my mic off just to go, he goes to the toilet, and the like voice of God's like, mic's on, please. And I'm like,
yeah. I know, it's like, oh, fuck off for 2 minutes, for Christ's sake, isn't it?
Yeah, like I would sing.
But Chyna, tell us this. Yeah, well, this is it. But Chyna, tell us about your love life now, because we were looking on Instagram and you've got a boyfriend on the go, is that right?
And I think, was it like the night of the NRTAs that you started speaking?
No, it wasn't. This is the thing. I need Neil to like explain the whole thing of like how we met, because this is the thing. It would literally take up my whole day. Like he tells it like, he's a better storyteller than me. But yeah, so far everything's so good. Like, we have 3 dogs. I've now accumulated 2 extra dogs on top of the 1 dog that we have, and. I've got a dog family. Like, literally, we have a dog family. We have a full car. Like, if we ever go anywhere together, it's like, the car is full of us 2 and then the 3 dogs in the back.
Oh my God.
Imagine how stressful. I'm like, okay. Like, the other day we was in London and they went to the groomers. And it was just like, 3 dogs trotting along, like, literally getting on the underground.
Bless you. Bless you, you've got like a right little family going on now, babe. A few months ago, you're in that fucking villa.
The whole dog family. God, we will literally get on the underground and people will be like, oh my God, this is another thing. We'll get on the underground and people will be like, oh my God, you're on the underground? And I'm like, well, yeah, because in London, do you know how long it takes to get from A to B? I'm going...
What you meant to
teleport.
do.
No, I'll literally be like, I'm getting on the underground because I'm not going to spend like 2 hours in a car because like it can take me about half an hour. So we'll literally be all travelling together, which is fun.
Oh my God.
That is so cute,
Oh my God. I can't believe you've got 3 dogs, babe. What a change in your life.
I had 1 to begin with, and then it's like I accumulated 2 more. Like, that was... For me now, I'm like, these dogs... they are my life now. I like garden.
Oh my God. So is Neil and the 2, 3, 5 dogs moved in with you?
No, not yet. God, so I look after them, say like when he's at work, because obviously I can work from home. If I'm like modelling or whatever, I will then drop him off at my mum's or his mum's. So like we literally have 3. It's like having 3 children. So it's like so when we're at work, who wants to babysit the dogs? If not, they will literally come with me everywhere. Like I'd be in London, like with the dogs. And like around Leeds.
Like, say if you was going to a camp.
Oh yeah, dog friendly. Right, I'm there. Me and the dogs.
Love that. That's great.
So,
but also, I saw on your Instagram you've got your new hairdo.
I did. It did take a lot for me to do. Like, I think because even up until now, I've had so many people message me like, oh my God, why the hell did you cut your hair off? And I'm like, well, for one, it's my hair, it's my head. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is one thing I've been wanting to do for so long, even though I have had really long hair for, like, forever. And...
Because how long was it before?
It was here.
Where was it?
And I was happy with it. Because when I went into the villa, I cut it just there. And then it grew, grew back down, and loved it. I did love it, but then I've always said to myself, I want to try short hair. And I thought, do you know what? One day I said to myself, I'm just going to do it. I think because I was sick to death of like just doing my hair constantly, and I just needed something quick. I did it.
But it's hard because, like, the texture of your hair as well, it's like proper afro texture, isn't it?
My curls haven't literally been curling. It's really, like, how long my hair has got now, and it's been, like, 2 months now.
So
and
long.
I'm like, okay, it's at that weird stage where now I just, like, leave it or just wet it and, like, pat it down. But
yeah. Are we sticking with this going forward?
No, I'm growing it out. I've tried the short. Yeah, I did it only just to see how I would look. I love the look, however, I miss long hair. Like, I really miss it. And because my hair grows quite quickly, I'm like, okay, that's fine. In my own head, I'm thinking to myself, by Christmas, I'm going to have, like, beauty length hair. That's just me being very delusional, but, you know, I'm sure I can make something.
Babes.
Well, this is it. But it's like, for our curly-haired girls and guys, would you recommend any products to them that maybe you're using right now that you think, oh my God, this is amazing? Or even when you had long hair, did you have like a great product that you loved?
So, well, for me, water is my best friend. Like, I don't think people understand how much like your hair needs to be hydrated. So for me, I'd literally be using a spray bottle before I use any products whatsoever. Make sure I'm applying products on like damp hair, and then
because moisture and dampness is great for your hair
and
tyre.
the way how it will then perform afterwards. Because like, I've even had some people be like, "Oh, I don't have curls," and I'm like, "Well, you must have some sort of curls. You can't not have curls."
Yeah.
I says, "Are you like using water in your hair?" And people are like, "No." I'm like, well, maybe start with water. You can't only be like putting water in your hair when you wash it and leaving it as that. I've been using the Immu. Is it Immu? It's like a blue.
Yes, you are right.
So I was using that, their leave-in conditioner, which is really good. That always leaves my hair really hydrated. Even I just keep going back and buying the same products. It's ridiculous. And then I will eat. It depends what I'm doing for the day. I've really tried to shy away from using like gels and things, because I feel like it really dries out your hair. I'd then go with like I've got like a butter. It's like Sheer Moisture, not the Sheer Moisture, not the Sheer Moisture brand, but like a buttercream. Like it's got like some sort of sheer moisture in it. It's from this natural hair place. So that, because it's thick and it's like an oily texture, I will literally put that on top of my hair, then add a quick oil, and
because I think once you find your product, you don't want to let go of it, do you?
Because
and then we have this fear that it's going to be discontinued or something.
If you see the amount of products I have in my in my dressing room, it is ridiculous. And then I literally go back to the same products. I don't even use like products that, if I know that it's not going to work for my hair, it's not going to work. Like Cantu would never work for my hair. I'm like, no.
Really?
Number one like product that people should literally stay away from, like, is Cantu. Like, I'm literally like I'm like an anti-Cantu person. I'm like, no, get it off the shelves.
It's a bit. I feel like that's a bit like Us and Tresemme. Like that's like Us and Tresemme, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Cantu are sponsoring our podcast. So.
No, they're not.
Not really, babe. Not really. Imagine, Yeah,
I'm like, sorry, Cantu, you gotta go.
Yeah.
But literally, I have like the whole Imbue. I don't know if it's Imbue or Imbue. Like I've got their whole bundle of things, because I will stick to like all their products because they are really good. So if I do run out of like my natural hair products, I will literally run to there. Even like Lush has a really good R&B. I think it's called R&B. It's like a hair moisture.
Yeah, Lush is a really nice range actually, because they're all very natural products.
Really good. Like I use their it's like a hair type thing, and because I first found it when I was in Dubai, and then I found out that they do it in the UK, but I think it's got two different names, but it's really, really good. It's a little bit more expensive than like say like Imu and things like that. However, like their products, I would say if you have like a little bit extra money to spend, go for it, because my hair after that, it literally grew like crazy.
And do you ever use like hairdryer on your hair, or you like let it naturally dry? What do you find best?
Natural dry. Like I have not used the hairdryer on my hair in ages.
Yeah.
It forms your curls better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It forms them
So I
better,
literally, unless I
actually.
no, I can't even say unless I have to, because I don't even own a hairdryer at home. It's so bad. I own a pair of straighteners, but I don't own a hairdryer.
Oh, I love that. Wow.
Like,
just straighten over the wet hair.
Yeah, that's it.
No, because do you know what it was? I hadn't even, like, I went for a period of time, because even, like, a few people now have been saying to me, like, oh my God, you're finally natural. I'm like, no, I've always had natural curls and natural hair. However, I just never, well, I always used to just get it straightened. Like, I'd just go and get a silk press at the salon and leave it as that. But then I'd always look after, like, my natural hair. Like, I'd always wash it, condition it, and just look after it, because otherwise your hair will just, like, you won't really have anything to grow, really, in the end. But, yeah, for me, I didn't own I only bought a pair of hair straighteners last year, because I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do my own silk press. Like, I still don't, I still don't have, like, my hairdryer or anything. Sounds terrible. Don't have a hairdryer.
Well, what straighteners are you using, babe? What irons
I
you got
have the Cloud 9s. I heard that that's meant to be, like, really good for, like, my hair texture. But, yeah, definitely, since using the Cloud 9s, love it. Like, you couldn't even give me a pair of GHDs and I'd be happy. I'd be like, no, sorry. The Cloud 9s are doing it for me.
Really?
I'm a Cloud 9 girl. Like, I'm, like, sticking by them. I have, like, the wider, like... Yeah, the wider iron. So, for me, Cloud 9s are winning.
Love that. Well, before we finish, babe, have you got any sort of, like, exclusive that you can share with us that you've got coming up? Something really fun that's happening in the life of Chyna that we should know about?
I can't even disclose as of yet. But, yeah, you're going to see more of me.
Nothing. Good.
Oh, yay.
Good, mate. We need more of you. We need a bit more airtime.
I know. It's needed at this point.
Well, thanks so much for joining us, babe.
It's all right. Thank you guys for having me.
That's all right, babe. Our pleasure. So you'll have to all join us next time for more fun, more chat on our weekly episodes where we'll have more gorgeous guests like Chyna. And tune in. Join us again next time for more juicy chat and follow us in your favourite podcast app so that you won't miss our next episode. Please don't forget to rate and review our show. Woo!